Alright guys, we're back at it. I took this thing for a ride to play with the Jake brakes because I got them working. And it was fine. But it's not going into the high side of the transmission. So I need to figure that out. I'm not sure if it's a plumbing issue or something sticky, not getting air the way it's supposed to. I'm not sure. The shifter, so it's going into deep reduction. That's what this is for. I'm gonna run it up into the cab and mount it somewhere. So this is out the way this thing is now. That would be in deep reduction. So you can't shift between the high and low side when it's in deep reduction. So I flipped that, drove it again, and it's just not going into the high side. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's a airline issue. There's a bunch of little teeny tiny airlines that come from the shifter and go down to the transmission to shift all that stuff. Not sure if I can see them. This is the little teeny airline. These are little teeny airlines that go back to the transmission. So one of them was smushed a little bit, so I need to get that, see if that's okay, and then find out where it goes to see if it's something that's stuck or something else. I don't know. I need to figure it out. So anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get this thing fired up, get it aired up, and see what's wrong with the trans. All right guys, so here's what I found with the transmission. Some of this damage is self-inflicted because, well, I just tend to take stuff apart. So anyway, this is the range selector off the side of the transmission. It goes right here somewhere. This piece here was bolted here. This piece screws into the end of this. And I believe this is supposed to slide back and forth. It's not supposed to be stuck in this. I think. I don't know. But in the midst of me taking it apart and not paying attention to what I was doing, I should have taken this off first, because there's a little thing. This thing has an O-ring on it, and we'll see how it's flat on this side. It's supposed to be flat on this side too. So this is the aftermath of me not paying attention and just twisting it out of there. This stuff right here goes in this hole. So this hole, this sticks out of here, okay, and it slides back and forth between these two things. So when I twisted this thing out of there, since this was stuck in this, it just broke it. Well, I guess if I'd have took this off first, pulled that out of there, it would have been fine. But now I need to order some more parts. I think this is stuck in here. I'm pretty sure that this piece here needs to slide back and forth. In fact, I know it does. So I need to do some fiddling with this, see if I can get it freed up without destroying this part too. I may take this thing off, just take it up to the truck parts store and see if they can give me some parts for it. Sorry for all the shaky camera work, but, well, I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I'm gonna take this off. This, I'm pretty sure this is why it's not going into high range because everything else is working. So I'll see what I can find with this. So I got some parts for this thing. This is the valve that I was talking about. So the problem was, I'll take it apart here and show you. This cap comes off. This thing slides out. Now this here was stuck, was rusted up in there, and it was stuck. So it broke. There's a little piece that goes through here that I'll show you. This is why it wouldn't go into high range, because this thing here was screwed up. So try and get this set up here. You guys can watch me put this thing back together. Maybe. And we're gonna put it on the truck and see if it works. Here's the repair kit, in case somebody needs to know what it is. This one had been laying on the parts store shelf for a while. Stuck together. This stuff, look, it's so old that the tube fell apart and all the crap leaked out. This thing here is what I broke, I'm pretty sure. Was it that piece or something else? No. This piece. This piece here is what I broke when I twisted that. When I went to take it apart, I broke this. I have it, but it's in my other truck, so can't show that to you. I guess you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna put some oil on this. I'm sure a little bit of oil isn't gonna hurt anything in here. I'm keeping this piston from turning. That's the problem that I had before. It turned and broke that piece. This goes in. And the spring. And then this thing. And I need to go get the other piece. So we're up here on the back of the truck. Here's the valve. Here's that piece that I broken. This right here bolts on there, and that's what happened. I didn't know that this was supposed to come off first. So it goes on there. Take it back apart for a second. I'll show you what happens in here. So the air goes into this end and this end from your shifter. This thing here, where this round piece is, it slides back and forth. And that's what sends the air through these two hoses to change your range. So I'm going to put all this stuff back together, and I'll bring you guys back, and we'll fire this thing up and see if it works. Alright, so I'm going to climb up in there and fire this thing up and see if it works. Got it all put back together. It's only a couple of bolts and a hose. Wasn't anything real exciting. A couple of hoses. So I'm going to fire it up and get some air pressure in it, and we're going to see what happens. Plus, you guys get a little bit of a cold start. It's been sitting here for, I don't know, a couple weeks, and I haven't touched it, so see how it goes. This thing always seems to start pretty good. Hopefully it'll get better after I go through the valves and adjust everything again. So we got a few minutes waiting for air pressure, and I'll bring you back and we'll see what happens. Alright, so here we are up here in the cockpit. So I can switch this, and I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it or not. That clunk. That's that valve working. So it is working. It's going in high range now, which is great. So yeah. So next is trying to get airbags replaced and some brake chambers, and then we can take this thing on a proper test drive. So that's good. I still need to take the valve covers back off, and I want to go through the valves again and readjust all that stuff now that's been running for a little bit. I think that's a good idea. Plus I need to put a feeler gauge under the jakes and all that stuff and check all that stuff out. I just think that's a good idea, being as how long this thing was sitting, and it's been running pretty decent. It's got a miss, but I think maybe that's due to the stuff needing to be adjusted. Hopefully, I don't know. Seems to clear up after a while, after it gets some heat in it. So maybe it's just a Cummins thing. I don't know. One more thing I wanted to show that I got for it. I'll throw them on the floor. I found some of these. I'm not gonna put them on yet, but well, that one goes right on. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, extensions for these things. I can get these old ones off. That one's purple. So those are pretty cool. They were kind of pricey. So yeah. So anyway, that's pretty successful. And it'll be a little bit before I can take this thing out on a test drive, but I'm pretty happy with that it's fixed now. So that's awesome. And It might be the end of this video, might not be, so I don't know. But if you watched this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share it. Tell all your friends to come subscribe. And there's plenty more to come on this thing. So don't miss it. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Later.